A very good evening to one and all present here, and welcome to your show, Streaming Live. So before we begin with our session, I just have few instructions to read on, and these are: avoid using comments which can offend any religion, race, or culture. Maintain decency in the chat box. You can rejoin anytime if you have got disconnected. If two or more questions are found to be similar, they'll be combined together, and we'll make sure to answer each and every question asked by our audience. Feedback form link will be shared with you all at the last 20 minutes. I welcome each and every one of you all on our live stream session. So today, before we begin, as we all know, our guest speaker is Shreyas Pardiwalla. And hi Shreyas, welcome to Streaming Live. Hi Shreyas, can you hear us? I think your mic is off, Shreyas.
No, my mic was on. The host had to mute me, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you so
Hi.
very much. Thank you, Afrin.
Thank you so much.
My sincere gratitude to one and all out here. It's indeed a pleasure to be amongst all you lovely people. And thank you very much.
Thank you. So before we begin our session, I just would like to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Shreyas Pardiwalla. So as we all know, our today's guest speaker is a young, talented Bollywood and theatre actor and a clinical psychologist. He has worked as one of the lead roles in the movie Yariya, Sweetie Weds NRI, and Sanam Re. He has also played a negative role in the web series of ZEE5 show, which is known as Akuri. Right from working to the commercial ads, to theatre, to your movies, Shreyas has made his presence everywhere. Shreyas has also worked in a short film, Ab Mujhe Unna Hai, which later won 𝗛𝗲𝗹𝗁 Award. 1999, The Perfect Crime, Bavra, where he had bagged the Best Supporting Actor award. Not only limited to his talents, but Shreyas is also very creative and very talented. And I think our Parsi community can relate to it a lot. He is also academically very intelligent. He has pursued his diplomas in his acting fields. He has also completed his master's degree in clinical psychology. Shreyas, I, Afrin Karanjia, your host for this show, would like to welcome you on behalf of our entire 𝐿𝐺𝑠 team and our audience. Welcome, Shreyas.
Thank you so much, Afrin. It's so very kind of you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Shreyas. So to begin with, Shreyas, as we all know that you are a talented actor and also a clinical psychologist, one question that arises: what intrigued you to study?
So what intrigued me to study clinical psychology? Well, to be very honest with you, I used to always have this habit of talking to people, listening to people. And in school, they used to make us take these several IQ tests, EQ tests, in which my IQ was very okay, but my EQ was a lot. My emotional quotient level was pretty good. So that actually did pick the interest of my parents and me, because I was able to talk to the young, the old people of my age as well. But I really never thought that I will become a clinical psychologist. I never thought I'll take psychology as um, as a career. To be very honest with you, when I was in school, when I after completing my 11th and 12th, I was in an international baccalaureate school for the 11th and 12th. I was doing the IB. For those 2 years, I genuinely did not know what I wanted to do after my 12th. I mean, of course, the typical Indian boy who wants to either become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, one of those degrees and those career paths that was behind my head. But I was never good at mathematics. I was very good at biology, but that's the only science. I couldn't do physics to save my life. I couldn't do chemistry to save my life. So I really thought that maybe being a doctor won't be the best bet, but I was always very good at acting. Never thought I'll take acting as my career. Of course, when I was in the 12th grade, during graduation, we had to take the name of something. We had to say the name of a career path we want to choose. And my father said, just say what you feel. And you're very good at counseling and psychology. And you're a very people's person. You understand people at a very different level. So say psychology. Maybe we might just think of that as an option for you. So just for the heck of it, I said psychology on my graduation, and I left it to there, least realizing that I will actually take my word for it and take up my own word and pursue psychology. And after I studied psychology in Bachelor of Arts, I still continued with my acting. But then after I took a gap year and I did a good amount of acting, but nothing really clicked for me at that time. That's when my father said, give a thought to do further studies in psychology, to which I was like, okay, let me try, let me see how it is. When I went for my master's, in my part one, the first term was very, very bad for me. I could not vibe with it. But my father said, before you leave anything, because I really wanted to leave the entire course, my father said, before you leave, finish one entire year. That if you thereafter want to complete the course, you can just do one more year. You won't have to repeat the whole 2 years. So when I did the second term, I did it with full diligence, and I also did my second movie simultaneously. So when I came back from shooting, I realized that I only have a limited amount of time and I have to invest in studies. So I gave my heart and soul and I topped my second term in masters. That's when I realized that, okay, if I just give a little more attention to what I'm doing and do with a little more conviction, I might be able to succeed in this as well. And I told my father, okay, I'm going to be doing the second year as well. I did the second year and I topped the second year as well. And that's when I realized that, hey, I'm not really bad at it. I'm really very good. Not only being a people's person, but even academically, I think I can manage it. And I went ahead. And to be very honest with you, it happened by fluke, but I think it was meant to be. And psychology is not all about the degree, to be very honest with you. If you want to be a practitioner, sure, the degree is important, because without the degree, you really can't go ahead. And forget that, no clients will come to you. You can be an amazing speaker, but if
Very
you do
true.
not understand the logistics of the entire, the science behind psychology, it's really not ethical and right for you to go around counseling people.
Very true. Very
After I
true.
did my master's, that's when I'm like, okay, so academically also I understand and I vibe with it. And now all I need to do is develop my skill set, because psychology is all about developing your skills, understanding how to relate to the opposite person. I was good at it, but that does not mean I can start counseling people. You can be good at anything. You can be good at public speaking. You can't overnight become a leader or a
Correct.
politician, even though people do it in today's day and age. That's a different thing altogether. Um, the jokes apart, I did hone my skills afterwards. I studied dermatoglyphics multiple intelligence testing as well, DMIT, for a period of time. After which, I then started taking up one-on-one counseling and develop my clientele side by side acting.
Correct. So it's very rightly said. The key over here is to never stop. And you are like being destined for what you're doing right now. And you are not only like, showing your talent to the people, but even on your Instagram platform, you have spread so much awareness about mental health. And that is the reason why you're here to talk with us.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
saying that you have studied clinical psychology, how is your experience of working as a mental health worker? What kind of clients you have dealt with, and how is that, like, you have saved yourself from affecting by their behavior, or how have you coped up with them?
To be very honest with you, see, when I deal with my clients, I deal in a very, very different way. There are many psychologists and therapists who deal in the super duper correct, ethical, professional, and so called right way, the clinical way. I do not like to look at my clients as patients, because you cannot just label somebody as a patient. And I personally feel that when I deal with clients, I pick up my psychology book and I I always say this, I fling it outside the window, of course, metaphorically. The reason is because I personally believe that the human mind is it's so beautiful and so rich. It's beyond just mere words on a paper. So
Very
I
true.
cannot limit the human mind to a textbook. I cannot limit the human mind to classroom notes. You need to understand the human mind by also understanding the human heart, by understanding the emotions, by understanding the feelings, because they all are intertwined. Of course, sure, if you are dealing with an individual who is suffering from a diagnosed disorder, a clinical diagnosed disorder, yes, most certainly at that given point in time, the clinicians, the doctors, the psychiatrists who also can prescribe drugs are the people you must go to. But sometimes there are just individuals who want to discover themselves, who want to express themselves, who are just dealing with a day to day stigma, a day to day problem, and are not able to find a resolution. At that given point in time, they do not need a doctor, they need a human being. And I feel in today's day and age, people are not being human. So when I sit with my clients, I am learning the art of being a human being. In fact, sometimes I feel I get a lot more from my clients. I get a lot more from the people who come to me because I think my forte is because I'm an actor, and a lot of it stems from my theater background, is the power of expression. I feel a lot of people are suppressed. A lot of people have suppressed their expression, due to which they undergo anxiety, panic, and even depression because just the inability to be themselves. And when I'm with my clients, I learn that the human mind is so beautiful, so dangerous, but at the same time, so very beautiful. It just needs the power of love, it needs the power of acceptance, and it needs the power of the of just communication. And what better way to allow that communication flow to occur via counseling. So I really feel that when I'm with my clients, I just learn to be more human. Whatever I have said, because we are today in a mental health forum, I really urge everyone to understand that if the person is clinically facing a disorder, I'm repeating myself, clinically facing a disorder, at that given point in time, medication, psychiatrist help, doctor help, clinical setup help is of utmost and prime importance. But we as psychologists cannot forget that you don't have to undergo a clinical disorder to get help. You don't have to act out of limits to now someone say, oh, now you require help. You can just be sleeping and not feeling it, and you actually need help. At that given point in time, you don't need a doctor, you need a human being. But yes, when you are having a clinical disorder, then the professionals and the people who really work in the setup, they are meant for you. Once you, it's as simple as this, Afrin. If you're having a lump of cancer, home remedy will not help you. You have to go and get it surgically removed. You have to go to the professionals to treat you. Once that is done, then when you come back home, then you can retake, you know, home therapy, you can retake home remedies to assist you to cope up with that surgical pain, to cope up with the loss you have incurred. So I think really same works with psychology. And my clients, forgive me, my clients teach me how to be more human.
Shreyas, you have explained really very well. I think even better than professors what psychology is. And it's not only about your mind, but it is also about heart, and most importantly, that it is about being human, which is like in today's time required in every era of your life, in every area, whether it's your school, home place, anywhere. So Shreyas, as a professional, I want to know, what are your thoughts on mental health? Like, what is your understanding of what mental health is?
Sure. Let me explain to you it in this way. My explanations, as I said, will not be textbook oriented because you cannot understand the mind with mere words on a paper.
Very true,
Of
very true.
course, they do give us guidance, they do give us a structure, but the mind is much more to that.
Very true.
Um, Mental health for me is the equilibrium and the balance of the mind. It is like this: if a person is extremely thin, or if a person has a little bit of weight, it does not mean that the person is anorexic. It does not mean that the person is obese. What is important in the case is the person fit? The person can have a thin body structure. The person can have a, a body structure with a little additional weight. That does not mean that the person is obese, fat, or the person is bulimic, anorexic. It just means that the person has a typical body structure, but all in all, the person is fit. Fitness equals to health. When the body is fully functioning, the digestive system is functioning, the gastric juices are functioning, the organs are functioning, the person is able to walk, talk properly, the person has a healthy body. A healthy body does not mean a muscular body. A healthy body does not mean an hourglass figure. A healthy body means a functional body, able to do the day-to-day activities without any hindrance. The body is fit, the body is healthy. That is exactly what a healthy mind is. A mind which can function perfectly well in day-to-day activities, having an equilibrium, a level which is equal, not extreme. Sadness is a human emotion felt by everybody. You have felt sad, Afrin. I have felt sad. Everybody out here has felt sad. We all have cried. We all have laughed. It does not mean we are bipolar. It does not mean we when you have to go on stage, you do get the butterflies in your stomach, you do get the anxiety. When you're about to attend an examination, you are a bit anxious. There are a little bit of palpitations. It does not mean you're an anxiety patient or suffering from panic disorder or anxiety disorder. In today's day and age, people start labeling that, oh my God, anxious. Oh my God, I'm depressed. Do you know what depression means? Do you know what anxiety means? People are nowadays using terms very, very loosely. If you're getting a little bit of sadness, if you're getting a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of panic, it's okay, it's healthy. The minute it becomes extreme, it becomes unfit, it becomes unhealthy, that is when your mental health needs attention. So now what can we say is mental health? Mental health is the mind which undergoes day-to-day life and day-to-day activities, the highs and the lows of life, but at the end of the day gets a restful sleep and is fit, is functioning, and can think coherently. That is mental health. When the sadness or the anxiety clouds your thought process, makes you undergo certain physical symptoms which are not normal, that is when the mind is in an imbalanced state. That is when mental health needs severe attention. But otherwise, if you are functioning normally, now again, I can't say normal because what's normal for you is not normal for me. So I'm going to eliminate the term normal when we talk in psychology. If your mind is functioning in a way where you are not harming yourself and you are not harming other people, and you are able to cope with a smile on your face and a smile in your heart, then you are mentally fit.
Shreyas, you have explained it so beautifully, and I'm sure our audience can relate to it, and they have got a clear idea of what actually mental health means. Like you're very right. Like, even in smaller nowadays, a smaller, minute disease, people say, oh, I'm in a depression, I'm in anxiety, without realizing what actually it is. And
Exactly.
so moving on to the next question, since we are talking about mental health, what do you think are the risk factors that are affecting mental health?
The risk factors that are affecting mental health, one very, very important risk factor is societal judgment and prejudice. It is because society, we are habitual to now judge everything and everybody. This entire what is trolling, because we are in the, like, we are the youth of the nation, and because we are all social media celebrities and stars, and self-made celebrities and stars on social media. What is trolling? Trolling is the opposite person judging you, the opposite person lambasting you with abuses, bad words, judgment, without knowing who you are. You will be judged on social media. You will be judged in your own homes, by your own family members, by your husbands, by your wives, by your parents, by your children, by your grandparents. You will be judged by your teachers. Teachers, you will be judged by your students. Judgment is what is affecting people. Why people are not taking mental health seriously is because people feel that if I tell the opposite person that I need help, they will make fun of me, they will consider me weak. And the third thing I'm going to say is something which really gets on my nerves. They will think I am mad. People associate madness with mental health. Try and understand, there's nothing like madness. Because again, I am telling you, what is normal for me is not normal for you. We find schizophrenic individuals as abnormal because their behavior is something which is out of societal norms. But for them, what they are doing is normal. For them, what we are doing might be abnormal. When does normal abnormal become a problem? It becomes a problem when it is hazardous for the person or it's hazardous for the outside person. When a behavior becomes detrimental for yourself or becomes detrimental for people around you, that is when you can start bracketing and boxing it. Okay, this individual genuinely needs help. Not before that. Before that, you're not supposed to pass judgment. I really feel the biggest evil when we talk about mental health is judgment. And other evil I really feel is, in today's day and age, sure, ethics is maintained, is genuinely maintained, but this entire thing of and that is why I tell you, when the individual has only academically understood the subject, should he or she proceed with it in terms of practicing it. Because if you try and open up yourself to your friend and they think it's gossip and then it becomes the gossip of society, it really becomes super painful for the individual who shared his thoughts or her thoughts with their friends. So this entire ethical code, this entire gossip, this severe judgment is what I truly, truly feel is very, very detrimental to mental health. And other evil I feel which is really causing pain to mental health is social media and is whatever's written online. People are reading about depression and anxiety online. You need to understand that online is that forum where anybody and everybody can tamper with. Sure, there are blogs which are really, really very, very good. And then there are blogs and spaces and forums which are utter crap. You need to go to a professional. You need to go to somebody who is logically sound and can explain to you everything. It's like this. If you're having a chest burn or if you're having a problem, I know of people who have typed heart attack and tried to read the symptoms. That doesn't make sense for all a person just having a gas issue. But you want to become the doctor and you're going to ruin it yourself. So if you don't do all of this and you go to a proper doctor to treat you, why do you think, what gives you the right to do the same for your mind? Isn't the mind a part of the body? The problem is we have alienated the body and the mind. The mind and body are but one, and both need professional help. Go to professionals. And कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, to hell with what people say or think about you, to hell with judgment. Save yourself, treat yourself. If you have cancer and you're getting a treatment done, you don't feel shy to say, I have got cancer, right? You say, I've got cancer and I'm here to treat myself and I'm going to be strong. I need your prayers. I need your positivity. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, positive vibes only. You're going to do it. You're a fighter. You're strong. I've had people in my family who are cancer patients, and everyone's given them this affirmations, read this and read that and be positive and pray and ye puja karenge, wo puja karenge. You know, 𝗏𝗏𝗹𝗶, it'll happen for you. It'll all go well. You can't do the same for somebody who's undergoing mental health problems. You can't say, think positive. I know it's difficult at the moment, but I will pray that you start feeling better. I will pray that society stops judging you. I am going to be sending you positive energies so that your entire process of coming out of depression or coming out of anxiety or coming out of this mental trauma will be easier. We don't say that. We're like, no, kahi nathi. There's no problem. They're acting mad. Stop acting mad. This is the biggest evil when we talk about mental health, is the lack of understanding from the opposite party, the amount of judgment, and as I mentioned earlier, ethical code is very, very important.
Correct.
Maintaining the ethical code.
Correct. And you very rightly said also, even I believe in this line, which it says, which from an old Hindi Bollywood song, which says, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे and लोगों का काम है कहना. So another thing also I have noticed that, like, you know, whenever people talk about their mental health, that, oh, I'm suffering from this or I'm feeling like this, even normal feelings or emotions, one thing I have also noticed that those people who they discuss with, their point comes when they say, oh, I'm there for you, don't worry. And when the moment comes, boom, they disappear. And that's the moment when the person needs you the most and you're not there, and your words that I'm always there for you doesn't really work. And that this is again something, like, you know, which makes other people, the person who is suffering, makes, like, you know, him believe himself, like, you know, he starts trusting people very less. He starts sharing his points of view, how he's feeling, what are his emotions, what he's going through mentally. And another thing is, like, you know, whenever people also discuss mental health, they think that, oh, you're being negative, just as you said earlier also, and they push them away. They literally push them away. And this is one of the worst things that a person can experience in their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like adding a fuel to the fire. It's simply like adding a fuel to the fire.
Absolutely, Afrin. Very, very well said.
It's not about being mature. It's not about like, you know, showing sympathy to somebody, but it's about understanding. You very rightly said, you have very rightly put that the level of understanding has to be there, that, oh, you do this, you don't do this, everything is going to be all right. No, it's about, like, you know, telling them that everything will be all right, but you be on your own self right now.
You know, the problem is that society is so like, oh, we need to show sympathy, or oh, we can't show sympathy.
Correct.
Let me tell everybody out here that nobody needs your sympathy. We need your empathy. We need your empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand what the individual is going. Nobody wants sympathy. Sympathy is you looking down upon the person and feeling sorry for them because of the state they are in. Nobody needs your sorry. We need your hand and support. We don't need your sorries. We need your support. We don't need your sympathy. We need your empathy. People need to understand.
Correct. And people also should understand this, that every individual is unique. Every soul is on its journey. And don't expect people to be all. Don't expect anyone to be all. So, Shreyas, I think you have explained this really very well. And I hope that things are becoming more and more clear and be able to put in light to the people. When it comes to mental health, like, you know, right from overthinking to stress, to depression, to anxiety, and to major disease like, you know, schizophrenia or Alzheimer, which later affects in the later stages of a person's life.
Sure.
What and how can we work on the initial stage so that we can maintain that peace of our mind, that we can, like, you know, maintain our mental well-being?
So I'll tell you one thing very openly and honestly. That is, the only way you can maintain your well-being is the same procedure you follow to maintain a healthy body. Let me give a very simple example, as we mainly are addressing the youth out here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And we are,
It's youth and it's everyone, like whole audience is involved from
oh,
different
most
ages.
certainly, most certainly. But I really would like to tackle the youth out here, because the people who are a little senior will understand because they have been young once upon a time.
Correct.
Um, when you get face acne, when you get pimples, two things you do, rather three things you do. Number one is you actually take ointment and you try to cure yourself. Okay. Number two is you don't touch your face. You accept कि this is a natural process. ये होता रहता है. If it is come, it will go. Okay. If it does not go, then you go to a doctor, a skin doctor, and saying that, see, I gave it time. It's not going. What do I do now? And you take advice from a professional. And number three, what you do is you lock yourself up in a room and you're like, I will not go for tonight's party because I look ugly. So you have made pimple equal to I look ugly. And now that's in your mind. That's in your mind. Now, because that's in your mind, you're very lucky if it goes in a week or two. Because no pimple means now you're pretty. Right? If pimple means you're ugly, then no pimple means you're pretty.
Correct.
Now, if it does not go and it persists, then you will start labeling yourself with ugly, etc., 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 and you will start breaking your own self-confidence. The same three steps is used when it comes to mental health. I'm sad. Okay, just the way you put ointment on your face, not feeling like it, चल ना मन को change कर देते हैं. So what do? You see a funny movie, you read a joke, you talk to your friends, you go for a run, a jog, a workout, thinking that that way of channelizing energy will shift your mindset from the negativity and you'll be positive. All the million home remedies. Number two is you're like, okay, I feel sad. Everyone feels sad. Time will heal it and you move on with the course of the day. Natural process. If it
Correct.
does
Correct.
not go, if the sadness does not go, then what do? You go and talk to a yoga teacher, thinking that that spiritual angle will help you. You go and talk to a counselor, a therapist, a psychiatrist, psychologist, thinking that that scientific way will help you. Or you just talk to an individual you really have faith in. Third thing is if you're sad, upset, you don't get out from bed, you don't make an effort, you don't make that push. I want to tell all those people who are out here that if you know people pay clients come to me and tell me, you have no idea, when we are suffering from X, Y, and Z, it's impossible. We don't feel like moving, we can't move, we can't do it. I want to tell you all very clearly that if you do not make an effort to open up and talk about it, nobody will come to your help. When you are having pain in your chest or you're coughing, you will go and tell your parents, I'm feeling uneasy. I vomited right now. I'm not feeling good. Help me. I'm going to the doctor. Either you drive down to the doctor or you tell somebody else to drive you down. Why is there an exception when it comes to mental health? When you're in a physical discomfort, you don't just sit down and sleep in your room. If you do that, then the next day, at least if the pain is unbearable, you scream, you shout, you make a noise about it that someone hears your discomfort and comes to your aid. When it comes to mental health, you need to do the same. You need to voice your pain. because nobody out here is going to sit down and understand you till you do not actively stand up and come forward.
Correct.
I really feel that that's the best way you will be able to maintain your sanity, you'll be able to maintain yourself, is if you express what you are feeling. No, I can't express what I'm feeling. Okay, you're feeling nothing, you're feeling numb, right? Tell the opposite person, I'm feeling numb. That's more than enough. Go to a therapist and say, I'm not feeling anything. That's more than enough for me or for any other therapist out here to understand where you are coming from. And then we as professionals will start start the process to help you. On Facebook, on Instagram, I see so many people putting up funny videos like myself, putting up dance videos, putting up silly things, putting up obnoxious things, putting up really vulgar things. You put up everything. You can't put up one status saying, feeling sad, need to talk to someone. The, you might get 5 likes on your funny video. You might get 20 likes on your vulgar video. Just put up that one status and see how many likes you get. Even if you get 1 like, right? That means one person is listening to you. Talk to the person. Only you can heal yourself. If you're suffering from a disease and you do not go to the hospital, the doctor cannot perform the surgery. I cannot perform your surgery on your bed. It's not possible. The thing is, but now look at it the other way. When a parent knows that the child is not getting up from bed, oh, khasi sardi hai, bukhar hai, oh, let's call the doctor. Then when your child is not responding and not eating food, at that time, why don't you call the doctor? At that time, why don't you call the therapist? It works both ways. If the client is also not making an effort to speak up, then at least the people in the client's surroundings need to understand that the person is undergoing some pain and is not voicing his or her problems. So mental awareness is not only for clients to be aware that ye hai aapke liye, it is for people in society, everyone to understand that there is something called mental health problem and there is something called mental health help. And we out here are giving you awareness. Come and seek that help.
Correct. So Shreyas very rightly put also, a lot of people, like, one thing you have very rightly said is like, you have to talk it out. I still remember a few months ago, one of my friend had written this poem, a beautiful poem, which says, talk it out. How, and in that poem, she had explained how important it is for one to voice their own mental health, to speak to the people and to overcome their own problems. Because it's obvious, nobody is going to come to you and read your mind. Nobody is going to, people often expect, I'm going through this, maybe through my behavior or through the ways I behave, other will understand. No, it's not like that. At times, even a person suffering from a mental health can laugh as much as like, normal person, way beyond normal person also.
Absolutely.
But it's very important that it's to come up and to speak up. And very rightly also you have instructed, like a lot of people nowadays, when it comes to the so-called social media age, a lot of people go and talk to the social media influencers and not counselors. What do you have to say on that?
Uh, Two things I'd like to say. Again, I'm going to tell you. When you are having, let's say, if you're having a problem with your finance, will you talk about it to your vegetable vendor? No, you'll go to a professional. So when you're having an internal problem, go to a professional. Number one. Number two, I'd like to say, sure, I completely understand. It's not easy to just go to a random stranger, a random professional, and talk to the person. I get it. It's not the norm of society, which should change, but it's not. I get that also. It's okay. You're talking to somebody, talk, but understand and be sensible that the input you will be getting will might assist you 1%, might assist you temporarily, but you will not get a permanent cure. It's like this. It's as simple as this. Talking to an influencer or talking to somebody who's not in the game is as good as saying माथा दुख रहा है, go to the chemist, crocin का एक strip दे दो. So you will pop in crocin. Now, what if that matha dukhne ka is not crocin, it will not is a tumor. It cannot be cured by crocin. But you have said mujhe crocin de do. 70% of the time the crocin bloody hell works. That's why and because it's in this country, abroad you can't get it without a prescription. But here it's just over the counter, so you do it, you indulge in it. But I completely understand where your question is coming from. Your question is coming from what recently happened when a social media influencer put up a post saying that the individual is feeling very positive and the individual can communicate. I don't want to take names, but I completely get where you're coming from. I would like to say that to all the people listening out here, my first point was very simple. If you're having financial problem, you won't go and talk to your vegetable vendor. You'll go and talk to your income tax lawyer. You'll go and talk to your chartered accountant. You'll go and talk to your banker. So, guys, be sensible. Understand. Having said that, I also want to say the first step is to voice your problem. You voice it to an influencer, you voice it to a non-professional. Okay, it's a start. It's a start, no problem. But be sure you're not going to get the answer. You've done it, right? If you've done this much, you can now do it a little more. Again, nobody's going to come and say, oh, you spoke to X, that's wrong. Oh, you spoke to Y, that's correct. No one's going to say that. You have to be logical, you have to be practical, and you got to talk to yourself and tell yourself that if I'm suffering from a disease, why the hell will I go to a bone setter? The bone setter cannot heal my disease. I have to go to a professional doctor. The same concept applies with mental health. To everybody out there, disease and disorder are one and the same. The only difference is disorder occurs in the mind, disease in the body. The effects are the same. Both can cause death, both can be healed, both can cause permanent damage. I truly advise you, go and reach out to those individuals who are professional and can help you. If you're suffering from, if you know somebody suffering from Alzheimer's or schizophrenia, taking them to a motivational speaker won't help them. If you are suffering from lack of confidence, if you are suffering from fear which is unreasonable, taking them to a motivational speaker can be an option. It can be an option because the person will motivate you to move away from this trauma, to move away, get over, pump yourself up. But if that also does not work, it's okay. You always know you can fall back and go to a professional. Right now, our main aim out here is to tell everybody who's suffering, or if you know someone is suffering, speak out. Don't shut up. Speak out. It's like this. If you drink poison, what is the main thing the doctor does? The doctor induces tablets for you to excrete it down or vomit it out. Or they pump the poison out. Point is, they need to remove it from the body. Whether it goes via your excretion or it goes via your vomit, or they have to inject it out of your body. It is to take it out. So if that happens to your body, when you are keeping your poisonous trauma inside, and you need to find a way of releasing it. So you have to speak it out, vomit it out. Because there's no other way anyone will know. And that's the biggest problem with the mind. The disorder is not tangible. The disease is tangible. You can see the disease. You can feel the disease. You can touch, smell the disease. You can smell flesh rotting. You can the senses work with it. With a disorder, the person can be going through it silently, and drop by drop, that poison will be killing the person from within, and nobody in the circle will find out. Hence, I really urge everyone, speak out, speak out, speak out.
So Shreyas, since you're saying, another question arises here is just like physical injuries are visible to the people, mental injuries aren't. You have no idea, just as you said, in silence, a person can be suffering. Can you share a few points with us where how can we as an individual can recognize whether the person is going through a mental health or not?
Okay, so well, for some, you know what? Unfortunately, it depends from person to person. Some people can be wearing this big ass smile on their face and can be party people and all that jazz. And the minute they come home, they can be poof, somebody else, and you will never know. You will never know. Some people only express their sadness with themselves. It's as if it's not expressing their sadness. So you won't know that shift in behavior. And for some people, it's very evident. Sudden change from light clothes, someone will wear dark clothes. The way they speak, the amount they speak, how much they eat, the way they eat. Are they oversleeping? Are they not just sleeping? Are they snapping? Are they keeping very, very silent? Are they over talking? Are they over crying? Are they over laughing? Any extremity, north or south, in behavior can be a trigger for the opposite person to understand that something is a little off. That's number one. Another thing you can always know is check for body marks. Has the person inflicted physical pain on themselves? Uh, but then the third thing is, as I told you, sometimes the person just bears it alone and you just don't know till the person doesn't say it. That's something, that's why I'm telling you all to speak out. But the first two is very important. Any extremity in behavior, whether it's sleeping pattern, pattern, talking pattern, emoting pattern, and excessive behavior pattern, north or south. So either a complete stop or a reduction, or a complete excessive behavior. That can be a trigger for you to understand that, okay, the person is suffering from something, physical pain or injury. But unfortunately, the third thing is an internal silent pain. Sometimes even the person doesn't know the person's undergoing it. You know that?
Correct, correct.
So yeah, that's why, guys, mental health is not a joke.
Shreyas, how a poor diet can affect our mental health? Because food is an important part of any culture.
How can that? Okay, so as we all know,
Poor diet. A
certain
diet can be divided into various parts, but when I talk about poor diet, like eating junk food or anything that is not healthy for your mind and for your physical body, how it can affect our mental health?
Swami Vivekananda's Guru Ramakrishna Paramahansa had said a very beautiful thing. He had said, you eat radish, you will belch radish, which is very synonymous to Jaisa An, Vaisa Man. That we
Very
all
good.
know. Why do we say this? We say this because you need to understand something, that mental disorders and mental imbalance is also very much hormone related. The dopamine, serotonin levels, the up and the down, the mood swings, all of that is also done by sometimes the food you eat. The food you eat actually assists or affects the hormonal release in the body. So that is one. Number two is, think of it this way. I'm just giving you a scenario. You eat a lot of junk food. You do not do exercise. So firstly, eating a lot of junk food is increasing the sugar levels in your body, which can increase and stir the thyroid gland, which can lead to unnecessary thyroid problems, which can lead to putting on weight, which can lead to, like, diabetes, which can lead to obesity. Obesity, then your behavior becomes sluggish, you oversleep, overeat, you're not able to focus on work, not able to function. Because of that, you lose a lot in society. Because of those societal and materialistic losses, and people stop interacting with you much, you get into sadness, mood swings. Sadness leads to depression. And it all just started because you kept eating junk food. So it's not always कि मैंने burger खाया इसलिए मैं depressed हूँ. It's not like that. It's a gradual build up. If you eat healthy, automatically your body feels healthy. I really say, a lot of people keep snapping, get angry, get irritable. A lot of that can also be related to constipation.
Very true. Very true.
When you have a clean and clear gut, and it's very, very important, everyone will be like, dude, why are you talking about shit? It's because it's very, very important. And that's
It's
true.
important. It's important.
I'm not talking shit, I'm talking about shit. It's very, very
Shit.
important. A clean gut, a clean stomach, okay, will automatically send your body in a state of balance. Will automatically, as they say, the five elements of the body will be aligned. When those elements of the body are aligned, when your body is not in a state of holding, or not in a state of extra excreting, as Freud speaks about the anal stage in the psychosexual stages, okay? Holding on to your stool or extra release of stool, it does affect the person's behavior, the person's snappy behavior, the person's irritability behavior, the person's behavior of getting angry and not functioning. But the minute you undergo a clean and clear excretion process, you feel more relaxed, you feel more light. When you feel more relaxed and you feel more light, you can automatically think and function better. And how can you allow your gut to be clean? You can do that by having a rich diet, adding fiber to your diet, not indulging in sweet um, um, food substances, sugary substances, junk food. Now what I've right now said is a very simple, basic, but
Just a grass.
such an important thing, just a grassroots level, but something so, so, so very important.
Correct.
So we covered three things when it comes to diet. One is the excretory and digestive system to keep your mind functioning and healthy. One is the imbalance in the hormones. And one is poor diet being a result of leading to gradual problems caused by other factors, but the start being a poor diet. Because somewhere it has to start.
Correct. Now, Shreyas, when it comes to in today's era, like when social media or a news channels, a lot of things have been consumed in one's mind. Any news comes up in a channel and hold one's mind for a week or even for a month. And in this era of social media and news channel, a lot of people have been stressing about anxiety, and there's a lot of negativity going around on their mind. How to overcome that negativity, how to overcome those negative emotions, feelings, and at times even those toxic situations that one is being surrounded with.
You can never, and hear me very clearly, everyone out here. We are unfortunately not saints, not sadhus. We haven't reached that level of sannyas. I hope one day we all do. But we are not in that state of mind to stop a negative thought from coming in our mind. Negativity is going to come. Toxicity is going to come. Because It's become a habit for human beings to just keep thinking negative. Simple. All our mothers. Please be careful when you drive, huh? Just be very careful. I'm just going from year to year. But she's already anxious. She's already fearful. That fear we carry forward. Or we carry that irritation. So automatically there's a negative exchange which is happening. It's by default, it's happening. You cannot stop these news channels. I mean, we would all love to stop the news channels from giving negativity, but Afrin, you and I can't sit down out here in today's forum and stop news channels and newspapers from giving crap. Two things we can do. We can either just stop listening to them or stop reading them, but then we'll not know what's happening in the world. So what you are supposed to do is, when the negativity comes, when the toxicity comes, it's already planted. So it will generate negative thoughts, negative minds. Oh, this is what this country is doing. Oh, this is what this party is doing. Oh, this is what this leader is doing. Oh, यहाँ पे इतने सारे murders हुए, यहाँ पे इतने सारे ये हुआ, वो हुआ, etc., etc., etc. Your mind starts thinking. When you start doubting and judging, you'll be, oh my God, ये आदमी तो मुझे ऐसे ही देख रहा है. For all you know, that man might not even be thinking badly about you. But because you're so prone to reading about the exploitation of people, you think that these people are looking at you in a bad way. I'm being very honest with you. You start developing those thoughts. I say, for every negative thought, if it's a habit to think negative, then make a conscious habit for every negative thought to think positive. 2 positive thoughts for every 1 negative thought. Because you cannot stop and remove a negative thought. It's not possible. But when the negativity comes and the toxicity comes, you can replace it with positivity. You can.
And Shreyas, even as a psychiatrist, do you suggest medicines or for a patient who is suffering from depression? Yes or no?
Okay, so I am a psychologist. I am not a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist is somebody who does MBBS, somebody who does doctorate. Okay, arts may we become psychologists. Now, medication for a person who is depressed, I cannot say yes and I cannot say no because I'm not in that position of power. But I can say this much, that the happy drugs, if they are given by a professional psychiatrist and doctor, then they must be given for a reason. But just like you can't cure a tumor with crocin, you will not be able to cure depression with drugs. You will have to undergo therapy as well. Those drugs are given as a temporary basis for you to function and for you to come to therapy, be alert in therapy. It's like this. It's very, very simple. If you have a very bad rash on your hand, you won't only be given ointment, you will also be given a drug inside to clean that thing. Take the same thing at that given point in time when it comes to mental health. Okay, what does this ointment do? It just gives that cooling effect that you're not itching and scratching and worsening the situation. So those happy drugs or those drugs given by professional psychiatrists, doctors, people with a legitimate degree, mind all of you, not a psychologist. Psychologists are not allowed to prescribe drugs, just as psychiatrists generally do not perform tests. We as psychologists do testing, they as psychiatrists prescribe drugs. Okay, so that drug enables the individual to function for a couple of days a little logically, to allow the person to calm themselves down and not get hyper and worsen the situation. But simultaneously, the psychiatrist will always suggest a psychologist, suggest an occupational therapist, suggest a counselor, suggest somebody who can induce therapy as his or her drugs are working on the client.
So Shreyas, yoga, exercise and meditation are very important for your mind. They
Very,
give you
yes.
a sense of peace, a sense of calm. How important is self-love, self-awareness and self-respect?
Very, 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 very important. Self, everything starts from within. It's like this. I'm being very honest with you. How much ever you try to inject a patient to cure the body, अगर एक बार बंदे ने ठान लिया कि मैं मरना चाहता हूँ, then no form of drug will work. No form of surgery will work. It generally does not. Same concept when it comes to psychology. You can go to the best therapist. You can go to the best psychiatrist who will prescribe the best of best drugs. You'll go to the best yoga teacher, the best meditation instructor. But till you do not love yourself, till you do not make an effort to advance in your life, till you don't make an effort to become a better version of what you are, nothing will work.
Very, very well you have explained, Shreyas, what mental health is. And I think you have covered almost from A to Z. Now it's time for a fire round. I'll just ask
Hey,
you two questions and you have to answer in one word, but very quick. Okay? Faith,
God,
just one word. Like, how do you relate? Mother,
divine,
humanity,
charity,
passionate about,
acting,
faith,
God.
and which is the code that you live by?
Gratitude is not just a word, it's a way of life.
It's like attitude of gratitude plays a very important role in one's life. That's what I believe in. And one last question of quick fire round. When it comes to giving out a message to the youth, for the mental health, what is it?
It's very, very important. Can I not have one word for this? Can I have a sentence for this,
Yes,
please?
yes, yes, yes. Or can
Sorry,
you can also,
sorry.
yeah, no problem. You can also include this with our round 3, which is like, message to the world from Shreyas Pardiwalla. So you can
Okay.
combine both. Go ahead.
So I'd like to just say something to all of you out here. You are good, you are kind, you are special, you are important. Let nobody, no circumstance, and nothing ever make you feel any less. Everybody's special, everybody is important, everybody has a place in this world. You have to find that place, you have to find that space. Do not depend on others because you are equipped. You are very well equipped to heal yourself. If you think that this person के साथ रह के या इन लोगों के साथ रह के only then I will be happy, you are wrong. Happiness comes from within. Your self-importance is very, very crucial. Till the time you do not understand and appreciate yourself, nobody will appreciate and understand you. You are good, you are kind, you are sweet, you are special, and everybody out here, you are important. Love is the language of God. Speak that language. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much, Shreyas. And before we end this session, I just want to give you a vote of thanks. Thank you for sharing your precious time and our most valuable knowledge with all of us. And thank you for coming in, accepting our invitation from 𝐿𝐼𝐳𝐶. And I'm glad to share this platform with you. It's a and Shreyas, thank you so much for being a part
Thank
of
you.
this. And you have been the first speaker. It means a lot to us,
You
Shreyas.
know, Afrin, thank you very much. It's so very kind of you. I met you because of my funny, funny videos I used to post and the mental health videos I used to post. And then on one Instagram live one day, your sister and you, I think y'all popped up and we had the conversation. And from there, the
Yes,
relation has
yes.
started. And it's such a lovely thing. And all I'd like to say is that to all those youth and love the youth especially, go on social media, be yourself, spread happiness, spread joy. I make comical videos, I make funny videos, I make silly, stupid videos. I do it out of a space of spreading happiness. I do it out of a space of spreading love. There are people who troll. People from my own community troll me. Adults who should be kind and respect the youth and motivate the youth troll me. But that doesn't depress me. That doesn't upset me. That doesn't stop me. Why? Because my motive is to spread love, light, and laughter. And I'm going to stick by it. So, to all you wonderful souls and all you wonderful people out here, if you are doing something and there is a negativity coming your way, let it be. As Buddha had once said, there was a man who had come to Buddha and was abusing Lord Buddha. And Lord Buddha said, "One second, if you give me a gift and I don't accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The man said, "It belongs to me." Buddha said, "Exactly. Your abuses, I'm not accepting. They don't belong to me. They will only belong to you." To all those wonderful people out here, if anyone in life tries to pull you down, it is their negativity. Don't let it affect you. You shine your light, you shine your love, and you stay positive always. Thank you, Afrin, and
And I think
thank you to the
Shreyas,
entire team.
yeah, thank you. Shreyas. Thank you, Shreyas. And I think you should stick to what you're doing. The reason is that, like, in the time of darkness, you have made people smile, and I've told you this 1,000 times. And obviously, I'm sure our audience are looking forward to your video. Thank you so much, Shreyas, for being here. Thank you for every information that you have given. And I'm so honored and so glad to share this platform with you.
Thank you,
And
thank you. You've
secondly, I would
been
also like to
very
thank
kind,
our
Afrin.
audience.
Thank you.
Thank you. And secondly, I would also like to thank our audience on Facebook who have joined us in this for the first time that 𝐄𝐏𝟏 has taken this initiative to bring youth from the Zoroastrian community like Shreyas Pardiwalla to share their views, to share their knowledge, and to enlighten this world and to spread positivity. Thirdly, I would like to thank our sponsors, the 𝗵 Foundation and the Thought for Food, which are working under the Millennium Fellowship. Thank you for the unconditional help that you have provided us. And next, I would also like to thank our supporters, Amina Sarif, Amish Shah, Dasani, Afrin Karanjia, 𝗓𝗏 Kaushik, 𝗪𝗏 Bhaghwagar. Without your support, this event wouldn't have been possible. And last but not the least, I would like to thank our entire �UI_ZC team. You have been kind enough, though we are a small group of people, but I wish more and more Parsis can join us, especially the youth, so that we can not only work for our community, but we can also work for the society around and bring out the positivity and do our best in whatever we can. So thank you so much. Thank you, Shreyas, once again. And thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless. Bye.
God bless you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, remove me web screen. Thank you. Thank you. End it.